Hey everyone, it's Thomas in the editing booth. I have a very, very busy week this week, and due to our just this is a pretty chill, laid-back kind of episode, so there's an explicit tag here. It's not a ton, but it pops up a little bit here and there. I just wanted to let you all know ahead of time, in case any little ears were listening. Anyway, hope you all enjoy a fun discussion, and long live Croissant. May he be our delightful cat king forever.
Thomas's freckles. Get me awake, so
I have a few. They're more like little freckle mole things.
They're keeping me awake.
Little birthmarks on my arms for the most part. And I have a freckle on the back of each of my ears in the same spot. Like one each right back here.
Oh, that's aliens, man. You were abducted. I hate to break it to you.
No, I'm a descendant of the Anunnaki or whatever. Right?
Oh, God.
Right? Isn't that what that is?
Yeah. We're going to get you a nice padded room. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast. Your favorite Pauper. This is episode 93. The year magic was born. I am your co-host.
That's true.
Cameron S. Schindler, joined as always by the Thomas Gunn.
The Thomas Gunn.
The Thomas Gunn.
As opposed to a Thomas Gunn.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm tired. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of life. I was in the car a lot today on the way over. Nashville traffic, but that's fine. Big work stuff, big responsible lighting operator stuff that I've been kind of anxious about for a couple of months. Went really well between yesterday and today.
Hell yeah. Love
just
to
a couple
that.
more show days and then that's that.
Well, I hope that's a big weight off your shoulders.
Yes.
Metaphorical weight.
We're still not quite clear. We got general sessions tomorrow and Wednesday to operate for, but
Heck yeah.
It'll be fine. I think everyone is happy.
Also joined by James Hippo Hieronymus. How are you doing?
I'm good. You know what also came out in 93?
My lovely partner.
Oh,
That wasn't what I was going for, but Arabian Nights.
Yes.
it did. Yeah, December, I believe.
Yeah. Why would anyone question that?
Yeah, I think December 16th or something like that. Does that sound about right?
Something like that, yeah.
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 Do we got any
Weird.
housekeeping to do?
No, not that I can think of. If you're in England, next month, the London Pauper Showdown number 3 is coming out to you. So take a look at that. The information is in the show description. It's the dreaded return. It's going to be a fun time, with our friends over there. And also a little bit sooner than that, in a couple weeks, MagicCon Atlanta.
It's next week.
It's next weekend?
Is it
Yep.
really?
Yeah, it's next weekend.
I thought it was the last weekend of September for some reason.
And
Okay.
you'll be there, Hippo, right?
Well, it's the 15th today, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it will be next
It is
weekend.
literally
That's
next
right.
weekend.
That's
you'll,
right.
You'll be there?
I will be
That's
there.
right.
So
Next
if you see Hippo there, say hi. Figure out what he looks like. It'll be his birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. So
Trying this again.
It is once again not my birthday.
You could just queue up 92, 93 right next to each other.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
Well, I want
people
people to come up to you at this convention and wish you a happy birthday. That would, it would make my week, my year. It'd probably make my year. So if you wish James a happy birthday in Atlanta, that'll make.
And
my year.
he'll keep track. He'll keep track so the camera knows
boy.
exactly how many.
But if you are going down to Atlanta, yes, of course, I will be there. So if you would like to come say hi, come say hi. But go support our other fellow content creators, and Cali Kais will be there. He's going to do the content creator little thing on Friday, I think around 11's what he said, or something 11:30, somewhere in there.
Wonderful.
So go give him a visit too. Go support our beautiful, wonderful content creators of Pauper.
Heck yeah. Also, before we get into the weeds of things, we'll give you a little sneak peek. We're going to talk about what decks your opponents could be on based around their turn 1 play, and maybe we might get into what their turn 1 play means for the specific deck too. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, what could you expect from...
We're going to kind of be split this into 2 parts. It's going to be kind of a identify what they're doing based on their turn 1 play, and then if you know what they're doing, what their turn 1 play means for you.
It'll probably be good to do it like by deck.
Yeah,
too. So yeah. I want to throw a shout out ourselves. We did the Stone Soup draft last Friday at Hippo Nice Place. So y'all who don't know who that is, you get 8 of your friends, 8 people total. Everyone chooses a different colored sleeve, and they bring 45 cards of their choosing. And 45 times 8 equals a full 360 cube. And you shuffle everything together, make a little cubey out of it. And it was a blast. I had a fun time doing it. I think I would do a little different approach. I ended up drafting a lot of my own cards, which is pretty lame, but my deck was also insanely sick. So
I did not draft any of my own cards because apparently there were a couple of us at the table who did not get the message that Swords to Plowshares and Force of Will and Thoughtseize were going to be the name of the game.
Yeah,
we didn't get that. So
I think the concept's fun when you like lower down the power level again. But I don't know. I think especially we're talking about doing it again, and you have to bring 45 different cards than you brought last time. But even when there's like power outliers like that, I don't think it's as big of a deal because you draft it once. So if it's not perfect, who cares?
I think the problem that we ran into was though there was a lot of overlap on the power level stance.
Mm-hmm.
Just like there were 3 copies of Swords to Plowshares in the draft.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
There were 4 copies of Thoughtseize in the draft.
Yeah.
There were 3 or 4 copies of Thoughtseize in the draft.
Yeah.
There were definitely at least 3.
I said 3 and someone said 2, so I don't know.
There were 2 No More Lies, which surprised me.
Yeah,
but
they were both
mad about it,
because
I didn't even draft.
They were both in my deck.
But I'd rather have the power outliers be in Swords to Plowshares and Thoughtseize and Lightning Bolt than Oko and Minskin.
Yeah, having them be answers is cool.
Ragavan was there.
But I think that just kind of like...
But not 4 of them.
I think that like for some of us, like myself, Jay, and Ryan, who kind of brought lower power level.
Oh, I did too.
Across the... I don't
Arbiter
know
of Norwich?
Yeah, I think some of your cards were incredibly powerful, Cameron.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, name one.
I can't even remember what you brought in this, but I remember in the middle of the draft going, I sure have a lot of Cameron and Anna cards in my pool. There's a reason for that.
I just brought like weird locky stuff. So I don't know.
But yeah, it was a fun time. I did have a good time. But yeah, me bringing my energy package was probably not the best thing.
That one, Anna played Team Energy.
Anna said that every time that she had the opportunity to take those cards out of her deck, she did, and it was much better because of it.
Yeah, it probably makes sense. But
so there you go.
I think next time people will probably chill on the Swords to Plowshares. I think a lot of people, they see cards like Swords to Plowshare, Lightning Bolt, and just don't realize those are some of like the best Magic cards ever made, period. And we get to play the Lightning Bolt in our beloved Pauper, so something we probably take for granted too. That and Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful Magic cards, but
I cast a fair amount of Lightning Bolts in the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Shall we? How do we want to do this? Do we want to go by? Do we want to talk about like decks first and being like, well, if you're playing against Mono Blue Terror, what could you expect to see?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like, assuming your opponent went turn 1 island and just passed the turn, even like just went turn 1 island.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Like you just like analyze that and go, my opponent is likely on the following things, right? So something I think I brought up it being Blue Fae, because that means they can now have we now have the flash 1-drop that they can now ninja, so they don't have to expose their 1-drop to a removal spell on turn, I guess sorcery speed removal spell on turn 1.
If they don't Fairy Seer.
Yeah, if they don't Fairy Seer do that. Yep. I'm going to say just blind island pass.
It's probably one of 2 things.
Yeah, it's like that's the first one that popped in my head, or like I think Cameron meant earlier before we started recording mentioned something like, oh yeah, they could just be casting like a mental note or something, and it could be like terror, but I was like, that seems more like they would have like a cantrip on 1 to set up a Thought Scour for it to be good, or a Delver is really the kind of thing my thinking.
Yeah, ideally if you're Mono Blue Terror, you do want to go turn 1 Delver, but
yeah,
there's only 4 of them in the deck.
It also depends on the context. If you're on the draw against like a Wildfires deck, you really want to hold up that Spell Pierce on 1.
Yeah.
Or if you're playing 4 spikes or something like that.
So it could be, Island Pass could be more than likely either or 2 things, like fairies or Mono Blue Terror.
Yeah.
If it's a snow-covered island, it's probably Scred.
Or that's somebody who's screwing with you because they know because of something like this exact topic we're talking about.
So you want to probably not. You can't keep hand space off it because you've already kept your hand or whatever.
But it does inform what you're doing beyond that.
Yeah, it's probably good to like analyze what do I want to do here if it's like the island go thing, and maybe if it's Terror. You really think it's Terror for some reason. And they have like the Spell Pierce. They have like the Spell Pierce up or Dispel. It's like, do I really want to run my Ichor Wellspring in here, or do I want to try to jam this creature instead? If you're a creature deck, what deck plays creatures and Ichor Wellsprings? Affinity. There you go. Jundor Grixis.
Pact Altera decks.
Yeah,
kind of.
So, I guess if you're playing against Terror, let's say you establish it's Terror, and they go Island Go, what does that tell? What does that tell you, Thomas? If you know they're playing Terror and they just say Island Go.
If I know they're playing Terror, like I mentioned, the counterspell is on the top of my mind as well. It could very easily be a Brainstorm to set up, similar to, as James was saying, the Ponder or Preordain to set up something like a good Thoughtscour Mental Note. You can also do that with Brainstorm. So it's also just kind of a way to wait until the last, like kind of waiting to see as much of what you're, from the Terror's side, from the Terror's perspective, waiting to see exactly what your opponent's turn 1 is, or turn 2 if you're on the draw, before firing off that Brainstorm and knowing what you need to look for, what you need to move around between your hand at the top of your library, things like that. Post board, it gets even trickier, because post board, Terror gets a lot more 1 mana instant interaction between Annuls and Envelops, Blue Blast, Hydro Blast. So it could be any number of things post board depending on what the matchup looks like. But generally, I would anticipate that if you know it's Terror, as much as I mentioned the counterspell, that it could be like something like a Spell Pierce or a Dispel, I would lean on it being more likely something like cycling for Lorien Revealed, or Brainstorm and then upkeep they cycle, or
that's very common you see in that deck,
because you really want to make sure you can set that up.
And that deck loves digging for its land drops.
Yes, and most decks in Pauper are running slightly low land drops because we have so many cantrips, Ichor Wellspring, and the land cyclers are very good here in this format, so we can get away with running lower land counts. Terror especially will run only like 16 to 17 lands because we have a full 4 set of Lorien Revealed, so they kind of are playing as extra land drops. So oftentimes the curve is very low, lots of 1-drops in the deck, so you can very often keep a 1-land hand with a Lorien Revealed pretty easily depending on what the rest of the hand looks like. So I wouldn't be surprised to expect, if it was Island Pass, that you could expect first a Brainstorm or Lorien Revealed, and then after that I would expect some interaction like a Spell Pierce or even a Blue Blast in the right context.
And personally, just this reminded me of a game I played the other week at that I can't think of what it's called, Middle Tennessee Gaming, when I was playing against Mono Blue Terror. They were on the play and they went Island Go, and I just play land, and I have a Relic, and I'm like, I'm just gonna jam it, like if they have the Spell Pierce or whatever, and I'm just like, just always gonna jam it, just because there's so many options that deck can do.
Yeah.
So unless it's completely back-breaking for you to prey around something, I'd probably just push whatever you're gonna do anyway, just because.
How did that work out?
Oh, it resolved.
Cool. well, and then what did they do with that mana?
Brainstormed. Yeah, and then upkeep.
Lord,
yeah, exactly.
Or Thoughtscour or something.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So exactly that. Yeah,
cool. That's what I would expect. Like we were saying, or James was saying, it is, I think, more likely that Terror will start with Island Ponder, Island Delver. Something at a little bit more sorcery speed, especially if they're on the play. They have a little bit of time to set that up. If Terror is on the draw, then they might be more willing to lean on a Spell Pierce or Dispel to try and interact with your turn too. So that's just something to keep in mind.
On the Fae side, since we're in the blue side, if your opponent goes Island Pass and they're playing Fae, what's the new flash card called?
It's the Jellyfish. I can't remember the name of the card.
I can't either. So
Ilvoy.
Whatever that card is. We know what the card is.
We have a Pauper podcast.
1/1 flash with flying, and then you can pay 2 and sack it and draw a card.
Okay, that guy.
Is that being played?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So if they do Island that, and then they don't flash that in, they probably kept a really terrible hand for Fae, because the normal play pattern, like the classic, is you see Island and
Fairy Seer.
Fairy Seer
is usually like the dead giveaway.
Yeah, that's
obviously the dead
that's the
giveaway.
trap that makes you keep a 1-lander.
It sure is, and then you scry 2 non-lands to the bottom looking for that land, and then you're Jay, and then you don't draw your second land, and then
yeah, feels like me too.
That's not very nice.
It was a little poke. Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
I guess, that's something to talk about too. If your opponent goes turn 1 Fairy Seer, scries through the bottom of my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're
looking for lands.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing.
And they probably have a ninja, either a 1-drop or a 2-drop follow up. That's just always my assumption with Fae is 1-drop into a ninja.
Yeah. If we're sticking with the islands, I think if you see turn 1 island, more specifically, I think preordain, then I think your opponent is likely playing high tide. I would bargain to guess that that's probably what they're doing. Specifically because it's preordained, so that it's going to dig the hardest for cards that you were looking for specifically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a good way to. Usually, like island, either island pond or island preordain more often. Island preordain is probably going to be, but
And a lot of this is going to be.
It's contextual. All of it's very
yes,
all of it's
yes.
contextual.
But the more reps you get under, you can kind of snuff it out.
No, that requires a swamp. Not
That
an
is true.
island.
Not an island. But
You can sniff it out.
if you make a play based on your opponent going island, preordain, you put them on high tide, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get my clock established.
Yep.
If you're wrong about that and it turns out they're on terror, more than likely you just getting your clock established there is A-okay against terror anyway.
Likely getting a clock established is our least possible against any of the blue decks is probably pretty good, regardless of what they're doing.
I would agree.
So, like, the actual impact these might have on your turns might be pretty minuscule, but it's good to have, not think about your next turn or your turn 1, or maybe you're on the play, so it's your turn 2, but think a little bit further down.
Just
it's like,
developing a full game plan.
yeah, exactly. It's like, what am I going to do here? Like, if I get to turn 4, am I just jamming this Writhing Chrysalis if I think now I know that they're on this, or now I'm pretty sure that they're on terror. Do I just want to start pushing Crystallize through? Probably. Seems good.
It's fair.
Pretty good. Should we just go down the line with untapped basic land and then get into tap lands?
Yeah, we can do that. So what?
Swamp?
A swamp is likely, from my it's either gardens. If they're just going swamp pass,
Yep.
it's likely just gardens, because if they're playing like the mono black deck now,
You usually
there's
playing
so
a
many
1-drop.
1-drops.
Yeah.
That there's no way that deck kept a hand with no 1-drop in it.
Because
I'm sorry.
all of the 1-mana instants in the mono black sacrifice deck require a creature,
Yes.
because they're either a Village Rites effects, which is sack a creature, draw 2 cards, or Supernatural Stamina, which is the +2/+0, and then if it dies, it comes back.
Yep.
So
And yeah, because does Garden still play Defile?
Yeah,
Like that version,
Garden-
so they
yeah.
could be
some,
holding.
some people are playing it. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. It still plays Defile.
Also unlock Snuff Out to just like play a swamp
that,
too.
Yeah, that's huge for that deck as well.
Especially when something like Terror was playing Force Spike more consistently, or even Fae. Just if you don't have anything better against Fae in particular, but Defile is better there. But if you really need to kill if you need to kill a flip Delver, that's clocking you very quickly before they have counter magic to protect it, as Gardens versus like Terror, for instance, having early access to Snuff Out is important, and early access to Snuff Out down the line so that you can kill the Terror and still have 2 mana up, so before they have interaction.
And I want to point out, no matter what your opponent's playing, if they go Swamp Pass and they don't go Swamp Blood Fountain, or if they don't go Tap Land instead, they're probably playing with Swamp first for a reason. Maybe they don't even have the Tap Land in their hand. They're kind of low on lands, because if playing Gardens myself, at least like the older version, it's like normally Tap Land or Colony Gardens first, just get that Tap Land out of the way if I don't have a turn 1 play.
Yep, agreed.
But like Thomas said, maybe it's like really important that if you're on Fae and they're on Gardens and they want to hold up that Snuff Out or that Defile, and maybe that's why they play
Take
the
out the
Swamp
Fairy
first.
Seer, don't get the ninjutsu going.
Yeah, I'm pretty aggressive when I garden or whatever. I'm pretty aggressive.
When I garden.
When I garden.
When I garden.
What are you planting?
What am I playing?
No, what are you planting? When you
Oh.
garden, what are you planting? Like,
Oh,
what vegetables, flowers? What do you?
an 0-1 plant token usually.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you,
I'm pretty passive
one-
when I garden. I'm usually in my room watching movies.
Hippo's just gardening out there violently in the flower beds,
Just defiling left
listening
and
to Rammstein, just
snuff outing.
right. Yeah.
snuff outing the weeds.
casting them down.
What a stupid joke.
Anywho, yeah, I think that's pretty well covers what turn 1 swamp means.
Yeah.
What
about
I want to weed out too. If they go turn 1 swamp, that won't be. Grixis Affinity doesn't play a swamp, does it?
they usually play like a
usually play
swamp.
like a basic.
I'm gonna assume it's not Grixis Affinity if my opponent plays turn 1
Plays
swamp.
swamp
I
pass.
think it is a fair amount or fair assumption they could also be playing Jund. Like Jund is also a completely reasonable thing, because if they just have like a hand of like looks like basics or whatever, because I mean they only play like 6 to 8 tap lands or whatever. So yeah, Diggers is totally like they just held up also for potentially what's Snuff Out. Some of them play Snuff Out still. I don't know. It's just good representation. Also, like if you just want to even fake that the possibility of Snuff Out's there, like that's a real thing you can do too, just by playing Swamp when you're done Wildfires or whatever.
Yeah.
So
what are common turn 1 actual plays to see across the table alongside Swamp? Like
Blood Fountain.
Blood Fountain, Nile Spellbomb. Let's start with Blood Fountain.
Yeah, Blood Fountain's a good one. Well, Blood Fountain just means they're any of the really grindy decks, which mean they're all kind of in the same like world of each other. They're all going to be
John de Grixis Affinity, a Pact All Terror Refurbished Familiar type of deck.
In
Black White Blade. Even so.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, Black White Blade, it could be that with Swamp too. But if my opponent's going Swamp, turn 1 Swamp, turn 1 Blood Fountain, turn 2 I'm expecting to see, honestly, John Wildfire's like a bridge tap land and them just slamming Refurbished Familiar down. Because just assuming it's John Wildfire's, the ideal play is for them is tap land bridge, then turn 2 untap land, Wildfires it, or to do Swamp, Blood Fountain, next turn, tapped Artifact Land, Refurbished Familiar.
Or you can even get a little spicier if you go turn 1 Vault of Whispers into Blood Fountain.
Yes, yeah.
And then next turn you get double Refurbished Familiar.
Ooh,
it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, that's why that card is very good.
It is very good.
And I say that because Grixis Affinity usually plays about 1 Swamp, so
It'll be rare, but it could come up.
Vault, you more likely see like Vault the Whispers from them,
Right.
or a tap bridge is pretty common from them on turn 1 since they're playing, I think, all the Grixis tap bridges, and they're playing like,
Yes,
Yeah.
some combination.
and then they're just playing like all the untapped artifact lands too, where John Wildfires is not playing all the untapped artifact lands. It's
No, it usually only plays
the vaults,
the Vault
and
Whispers.
maybe like I've seen
Because all
Grey
their draw
Furnace
spells,
before.
all their draw spells are black, so that's just kind of the most important one to have untapped.
Yeah.
Moving on, for white, more often if you just let on planes go, your hand's probably bad. I'll be real, because if you're not playing a 1-drop with your white deck,
I have no clue what deck would even do planes.
They're just holding a Mana Tithe.
I mean, if somebody really wants to mana type people, go for it. But if they're just playing turn 1, like, dude, they're like, they don't. I mean, they obviously don't have a turn 1 play, which means that their hand is likely just a little bit bigger and a little bit slower. Something like Synth is a possibility. Just do nothing on turn 1, I guess.
That sounds terrible too.
I mean, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Even that deck probably has like a tap lane it wants to play.
Yeah, it is. I mean, mine's playing at minimum 3 tap or like 4 tap lanes. My deck.
Say they go planes Thraben Inspector.
That's basically three at that point. Three real options.
Mono white Boros.
Mono white Boros Synth and black white Blade.
Yeah,
is likely the options.
Or Naya Gates that they play. Naya Gates plays.
Let's keep it real here.
I am keeping it real. The best deck in the format, as Thomas said. And so, keep it on your radar.
I finally got to play it. When y'all were Stone Soup cubing on Friday night, there were a couple of us were also there just for the hangs, and so myself and my buddy Carson, or our buddy Carson, excuse me.
Yeah, your buddy Carson.
I was like, I didn't let him into my home for him not to be my buddy too.
It slipped out of my mouth. I'm sorry. Me and our buddy Carson played a quick match of I wanted to play Naya Gates, and he had Gen Wildfires on him, and we played quite a slog of a match. But I was felled. I was felled fairly somewhere in the mid game. I don't know. We lost track.
Oh, before we continue further, I do want to shout out this episode topic to Spencer, our listener friend
Thank you,
of
Spencer.
the pod.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he reached out to me I think last week, I believe, and he's like, "Yeah, I think this is a good idea. You guys should talk about." And I was like, "I agree. This is a good idea. We should talk about."
This is not the first Speezy.
This is not the first
topic.
He has come up with some very good topics for us. I appreciate it.
One thing I want to differentiate too is it can be kind of confusing because there's a few decks now that overlap on plays. Now I'm thinking Wall Spy, Walls, and just Spy. like trying to differentiate the three between that.
I think they all they all feel pretty similar to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that it really changes a whole lot about what's going on.
I get kind of walls, because walls you just want the creature interaction versus like spy. It's
I
like,
still want it against
yeah,
them too.
you do want to kill their walls.
I was like,
and
you
stuff,
just kill
but
if you just kill all their idiots and never allow them to put 3 things into play, it's a very hard time for them to win.
That is true. But
At least that was my experience when I was gardening.
and that it is a lot easier for that deck just to cast a lot of Giant too. Well, your experience was Pulse Maraska and your way through victory.
I sure did, but
you didn't have to kill anything.
Well, yeah, I didn't have to, but it sure did help
That's
the game go
hilarious.
along.
But and I guess if they land grant too and show you your hand, that kind of makes it easy too to see what variant they on. But the biggest difference between there is just trying to figure out if your opponent, if they have like a wall start, they're like, oh, are they walls combo or are they wall spy combo?
Because I don't know if there's a deck that would lead Forest Pass outside of maybe exactly Jund with a medium hand.
I think that would just be a hideous.
And even then, they'd probably like Forest like Nile Spellbomb.
Any green deck you'll probably figure out pretty quick, because Gruul is either going to play Arbor Elf or Wild Growth, or don't know why they kept that hand.
Yeah, if they can't accelerate into something, the hand's probably not very good.
Exactly, yeah. Boggles is going to try to play a Boggle.
They're going to play a Boggle on turn 1.
Or
Crazy.
the Wild Growth or something, digging for something. But yeah,
Abundant
so
growth,
you'll figure it out pretty quick on the green decks what they are.
Red,
mono,
Mountain is a little bit more interesting though.
Yes, that's what I was about to say, because I was on that same line of like decks that could be similar are the 2 like Madness style decks. Like we have the normal Grixis Madness and then the mono red version, because like
technically it would be Grixis too. Play Sneaky Snacker.
Technically, they're both Grixis simply because they both have Sneaky Snacker. If you're calling Red Black Madness Grixis Madness, then they're both Grixis Madness.
Yeah.
So red, black, and then red.
Red, black, and red.
Red, black, and red.
Yeah.
Got actually.
You did. Live on the pod.
You.
How does it feel?
You guys give me vibes of when, God, what card got banned, and everyone's like, oh, it's like, oh, Jewel Lotus. People were like, oh, it's like completely useless now, and you'd see the comments on Twitter.
Actually, it's this legacy deck that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
With my doubling cube and
Exactly. And I'm just like, wow, go fuck yourself. Like,
because Magic players love
just to say
explain
something.
things.
Just to say something,
They love
anything.
to explain things.
Bugs the crap out of me.
I feel like that's a little bit mean, but it happened to me. Like I was back home visiting my old LGS, and I was talking to my friend about it, and some kid I don't know is like, verbatim, like, actually, you could play him as legacy deck, and I'm like,
does that make it relevant?
I'm like,
I was like, legacy is like not really.
I don't know.
well.
I feel mean, but it was just one of those moments. I'm like, did I just get actually in real life, you little fuck. But Mountain, Voldaren, Epicure.
That is, I mean, usually
A number
just
of things.
One of
Madness. Does the rally deck?
Potentially.
Yeah, the rally deck, and then
they play it for Godolpha.
Doesn't Dredge also? Doesn't Mono Red Dredge also
Yeah,
play?
but
Doesn't
what?
Mono
What do
Red
you mean
Dredge?
they play it for Kuldotha?
Oh shit!
They play it so they can draw a card.
Yeah.
And turn their mountain into a spell.
In my head, and I'm living in a universe where
We have Rally the Hornberg. We do not have. We do not have
I was
Godolpha.
living in a world where Godolpha didn't get banned, and Bushwhacker got banned instead for some reason. I'm like, yeah, they still play for
Wild.
Godolpha.
I mean, that would have been interesting.
I don't know why that
I don't know.
played out in my head. That's hilarious. Did the rally decks play? Well, they're Epicure then.
I think some of them do.
God, we're
Maybe
terrible.
they don't.
Look at us. The deck's just called Mono Red Synth on this version. Mono Red Rally. If it's one top forward something, it is playing Voldaren Epicure. There you go.
Yeah.
So it could be honestly reasonably
Yeah.
3 different decks.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right. Just something to keep an eye out for. I think just Untap Mountain Pass is usually going to be a removal spell. Something like a Lightning Bolt, Lava Dart,
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
That's something you could get more. That's something like Boros could actually do too. It's just like went Mountain Pass. That's a reasonable
just
thing
keep
it can
bold,
do.
especially on the draw or whatever. Maybe
Yeah,
kill your turn 2 play if you like want to hold bold.
Very
yeah.
very frequently did that.
I guess if they do that either way, no matter which of those 3 common decks, whatever Madness variant or Rally, they're gonna want to kill you pretty quick.
Yeah, yes, for the most part, I would agree.
And so it's pretty easy on there. Then if they just go turn 1 bolt your face, and you know you're in for it too. That's a power play. You have to pick up your cards and concede your opponent.
Dude, I did that at sorcery speed for a long time.
I was like,
turn 1 lava spike, go.
Yeah.
It's true, you did.
I did.
That's a feeling.
It's
We gotta.
It's fun.
Well, then when we're in post board, it gets the options get a little wider.
Similar to Mono Blue Terror, yeah.
Yeah, where the options get a lot wider. We get like the basically double sets of red blasts. So who knows? I guess that don't really matter if you're playing a blue deck, but still something to be mindful of instead of just lightning bolt and the things of that guild.
Almost.
So I think that really covers us up for basics.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say on the rally thing, too, if they're playing Voldaren Epicure or Clockwork Percussionist, they could be, like, setting up for Goblin Tomb Raider the next turn if, like, they didn't have the Great Furnace, because if they had Great Furnace and they have the Goblin Tomb Raider, they're probably just going to get in there for 2.
Right.
And then that deck...
Some variants of the Red Madness, like the Mono Red Madness deck, don't even play Epicure. They're just playing more copies of, like, Chain Lightning instead.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I was just looking at a random list.
Yeah, there's kind of like a rotation of do you trim or play full sets of like Faithless Looting, Chain Lightning, and Voldaren Epicure. Those are kind of like the flex slots ish. I haven't seen any list with less than 2 Faithless Looting. But I have seen lists like James is saying of swapping around Epicures and Chain Lightnings. And
The
stuff
rally
like that.
list?
No, Mono Red Madness.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's what you're. And then we're gonna have the Meow Crusader maybe going into that deck. Get in there for 1, replacing.
Oh yeah,
Meow,
we have that new,
whatever it's called.
the new card.
Spider Cat, whatever it is.
What if your opponent goes turn 1 Spider Cat? What are they playing?
Probably Dredge. Probably Mono Red Dredge.
Rakdos Bridge could be tricky.
Rakdos Bridge actually is probably the widest swath of potential decks that it could be, because it could either be like it could be Madness, it could be Jund, it could be a Grixis Affinity, it could be.
I think those are the big 3.
I mean, those are big, but there's more. I mean, even
It could be a Mardu Synth deck.
yeah.
Because it being a red bridge unlocks Cleansing Wildfire for a bunch of stuff.
Or
Galvanic Blast.
Exactly. Galvanic
version.
Blast.
It's usually one of the two.
But
Right.
a lot of the Rakdos decks have moved away. The Rakdos Madness decks have moved away from the Galvanic Blast. So a little bit now, I think you're safe to assume it's like Jund or Grixis Affinity, because a lot of the Madness decks, like I said, are not playing Galvanic Blast. But if it turns out they are playing Madness and they lead off that bridge, you could assume they are playing the Galvanic Blast based on that, which is probably the nicest thing about that tell for that deck. Otherwise, they're playing the tapped. If they have 13 or more life, it comes into play tapped.
Verge, not the Verge.
Gorge,
sure.
Razor
Razor
Trap Gorge.
Razor Trap.
And then they're playing
that one.
The Painlands from
from OTJ.
Yeah,
Jagged Barons.
Yep,
Jagged
the
Barons
black red
is,
one.
Yeah,
a
braided bluff is the red white one.
I just clicked on this random list and they're playing 4 Black Mages Rod and their
Lush
Rakdos Spring deck,
Oasis. I think is the green blue one.
You better know.
I think.
Yeah, Jund Wildfire is pretty interesting too, because they just have the most different starts, like the bridges or like the vault, and why can't I think of the word?
Refurbished Familiar.
Yeah, try to set up for Refurbished Familiar. So I think it's important to, that's probably like a good one to have in mind, because if you're on the play and say you're just playing Terror and you go Delver Go and they go Tap Bridge Go in the Jund colors, you're like, okay, maybe I want to hold up the Spell Pierce for their Cleansing Wildfire.
Yeah.
Instead of doing sorcery or whatever, which is very common for that deck anyway. But,
well, that's a very common turn too, is you turn 1 Delver, turn, and then untap, upkeep, Brainstorm, and then you still can hold up that Spell Pierce or Dispel.
Yeah. So maybe that's like the route you want to go, but they're playing the Furby. Maybe you're like, okay, whatever, I think they're just going to play Furby turn 2 anyway. I don't need to hold up the Spell Pierce. I'd rather Brainstorm, flip my Delver, and shuffle it away.
Or play second Delver if you can set up the flip for both, and then the Furby isn't so bad.
So I think like knowing what your opponents on the are playing is like especially important when you're a high interactive deck. Like this is most important for probably Terror, whether or not you want to hold up your Spell Pierces or Dispels, or if you're a Lightning Bolt deck, is my opponent going to play something I really care about Lightning Bolting? But the bridges could mean like Jund Wildfires, and that same logic of holding up Spell Pierce for the Wildfires decks that applies to the BlueSky Wildfires deck, the
Yeah.
Mardu synth deck plays it, I believe, too. So same logic applies there.
It's true.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I think the black-red one is the only overlap, right, between Grixis and Jund?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause they're
Yeah.
not
So that one
playing
is pretty
blue.
tricky.
Yeah, it's like that one has the
Yeah.
usually the most options.
Yeah. But outside of that, if you see blue-black bridge or blue-red bridge,
Those are
you're
Grixis.
pretty much always going to be Grixis affinity. Outside of like a cool brew, like sometimes like I like messing around with Kenku Artificer stuff every once in a while. I know we mentioned Jay already earlier in the episode. He has a pretty sweet blue-black affinity list that he likes. The lists like that have popped up around the meta as well. So you could expect something like that, but that's all kind of in the affinity space.
So Silver Bluff Bridge is one that could give you pause as well. It could be Jeskai Ephemerate. That is
Oh, sure,
one of-
for
one of
blue-red.
their- one of their
Yeah.
ones.
Yep, that's fair.
Another red bridge. A lot of the bridges are red. Crazy.
Wildfires. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this one's not a wildfire. Well, this one is partially a wildfire one. Is the white red one?
Mm-hmm.
That could be in Jeskai Ephemerate, as like you just said, and also could be Borosynth too.
Yep.
Borosynth's been known to play some bridges.
Mm-hmm. Mardu synth.
Mardu
It's
synth
been
as well,
popping
yeah.
up a little bit.
I wanted to shout out the various Demir control decks. That's something we could talk about, or we didn't talk a whole lot about. But those decks usually just barely splash black too, because they can find the tap lane off Lorien Revealed.
Right.
So an Island Go could be a blue-black deck too. Like they could just
Right.
look like mono blue for the first two turns
Correct.
until they randomly just play a swamp or randomly play a blue-black lane. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like
yeah,
ice tunnel.
ice tunnel
or,
or contaminated aquifer.
And those decks, we've talked about how diverse and different those decks can look. Some of them are playing like modern age sneaky snacker stuff. Some are
Some are just blue black terror, or
some are just terrors
Fey,
and
like
Granglers.
a Fey base control deck, or
We've
whatever,
seen-
or just hard control.
or
like,
hard control deck.
yeah.
And like we've seen the Fey decks too. So if they're blue-black, you really want to be paying attention to what the cards surrounding it are, because they're probably going to be playing cast downs. They're going to be playing Lorien Revealed. They're going to be playing counter spells. But around that, are they playing sneaky snackers? Are they playing? Why can't I think Pact All Terrors? Some of them are that.
Yeah.
You know, are they setting up for terrors? What are they Fey? Because they're going to play against blue-black Fey and blue-black terror drastically different. Like you want to stop ninja gameplay and all that fun stuff if they're on the Fey, like similar to how we're talking about killing the fairies early for Fey. And so I think it's important to know if they're on blue-black, establishing what version of blue-black they are playing. That's tricky because it's kind of a very diverse archetype that blue-black players love. Blue-black cards.
It's true.
There's not a like this is the blue-black deck in the format, which is kind of funny because you could say that about this is the mono blue Delver deck of the format. There's not a ton of diversity between mono blue Delver versus the blue black deck.
Yeah, so blue black type land could mean that was what we just mentioned. Basically, three different options at that point. More tap lands. Off the top of my head, what else we got?
Gardens. Like you got
Gardens
Colony
just got Colony Garden on
Colony
top.
Garden. Yeah.
Actual factual garden.
could be fog too. You got to be careful.
That's
for that
true,
too.
but there was basically at that point you can go. They're going to be a slow deck. Like we're going to be sitting here for a while.
Yeah, at their Colony Garden.
If that's the realistic expectation.
But that is true
Yeah.
because I've led quite like if I mold to 6 or 5 or whatever fog, a lot of my turns have been like I don't want to turn 1 Clony Garden, but if I have turn 1 Clony Garden to turn 2 Swamp and a Deadly Dispute effect, I'm very happy to do that to get myself back into the game. So that's not super uncommon at all.
Agreed.
Gates are tap lands,
Gates are all tap lands
except for Basilisk Gate and Heap Gate.
and
but-
Heap Gate, but
Yeah, you don't want to see those in turn 1.
no, those are
Not-
generally
not
not
ideal.
advised.
You could
Pretty well
suss out by what color.
Yeah, pretty well figure out what they're doing. There's variants of gates, basically across all colors at this point.
Anything
Most of them are white based because for the more like creature centric versions, there's things like Sacred Cat. I have seen versions of gates playing like Core Skyfisher and things like that, or they can be like kind of like a blade style deck. So those are going to tend to have those are going to actually have the creatures that kill you. But if it's like black, it's a black gate and they name green, they're like, all right, well, that's just gardens, and they're not going to play a creature for the basically until they play. That's what I meant.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
No, you're
I
same
meant
thing,
fog.
right?
I meant fog.
One's killing your creatures, one doesn't care about your creatures. Either way, you have creatures and then they don't really care.
The other one's killing your spirit to exist.
They both are killing your spirit to exist.
One of them lets you take all the game actions.
Mm-hmm.
You can attack with your creatures all you want.
Do anything you want.
Wow, this is a weird all the way wrap around. But when you said it could be Island Preordain, it could also be FAMs, man.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Could
I
be
think
familiars.
when I say these things, I'm just going with the
most
likely option is generally.
So, little theory question. So if your opponent, if you kept the hand you already kept in the blind, why does it matter?
Because
try
that
to
just
figure out your
develop.
opponent on.
Because that also means how you're going to develop how the game is going to play out as well. Like, if assuming that I'm on my opponent's island go and I'm on Borosynth, that might change how I view these lightning bolts. Like, I may need to use these lightning bolts in conjunction with a creature to kill a terror. I may not just want to throw those at their face immediately. I may want just things like that.
But more than likely, if your turn one had Plains Thraber Inspector, no matter what your opponent did, is you are Plains Thraber Inspectoring.
Yeah, that's not necessarily going to change, but it is change. What I'm saying is it's changing the further down the game. I'm not saying it's changing the immediate of what you're doing. It's just changing the overall game plan.
Start that pre-planning.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting ahead of the game.
I think it'd help establish who's the beatdown too. Did that when when I was playing somebody on High Tide and I thought they were on High Tide. It was
Carl.
Yes, and I'm like, okay, well, instead I got the Sacred Cat out on turn 1, and turn 2 I went tap land and another cat or a Thraben Inspector, and then turn 3 I'm just like Basilisk Gate and let's just start pumping my cat. Like, that's all that matters now is getting there. Like, pumping my cat now is going to do more damage than playing a second one power creature, or a third 1 power creature, excuse me, in that situation. So it could be important to establish who is the beatdown
Based on turn 1 plays.
There you go.
Tron. There's actually different variants of Tron, a Tron land.
They could also go Island Preordain.
That is a non-0%.
If your opponent goes Island Preordain, just fucking wait one more turn. You don't hold up Spell Pierce.
I don't want to put the explicit tag on an episode.
Why would you have to do that?
Because you keep cussing.
Because
ever
it's
cuss.
really hard for me to get the Shrek sound effect to work in this program for whatever reason.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
I did not know
I've just
that.
been silencing our curses more so than
That's
using,
hilarious.
it
Why?
Sucks. It just won't populate. It comes in all distorted. I don't know why.
What's it sound like? I kind of like that better.
Nongi.
Is it donkey? Do you just need to find like a different Shrek?
I've tried converting it into different file types. I don't know.
But is it that same specific audio file?
Yeah.
Maybe you just gotta find a different donkey.
I downloaded a YouTube that is every time he says donkey.
That's
Anytime
awesome.
anyone says donkey in the first Shrek
Donkey!
movie, donkey. And I actually used one that's him and Fiona saying it together because it sounded okay, but it still came in distorted. None like the theme song doesn't do it when
That's
I
really-
populate.
oh,
It's
thank
really
God.
weird. Yeah.
Maybe that's
I don't know.
Ask your wizard brother.
Maybe. Well, I might need to just like
Install.
No.
I think I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts to try and make it work, but I might need to just like export it as its own, like make a fresh file.
I won't
out
say
of
fuck as
Audacity.
much.
No, you're okay.
Okay.
It's fine.
Let's fucking get back into it.
Hell yeah.
Sound like a 7th grader who just learned how to curse.
When I was like 12, I would go out in the woods and like curse a little bit under my breath just to see what it felt like. I'm like,
God could still hear you, Thomas.
I did it. I think it became a regular part of my vocabulary when not adults were present in like 5th grade, I want to say.
oh damn. Yeah, like 3 weeks into freshman year of college, and I was swearing like a sailor. It happened real quick, but
And
yeah,
you can,
I didn't.
and
swear
it's very
before
funny
that.
because you can tell when somebody's new at it
Yeah,
because it doesn't make a lot of sense.
yeah. All my friends were like, "Homeschool swore. Whoa.
Homeschool.
Yeah, some of them called me homeschool.
HS.
Homeschool? No, just homeschool.
Oh.
And they're like, you've never seen Mean Girls? And I'm like,
HS would also just be high school.
Oh, fuck.
yeah. And they were like, you've never seen Mean Girls? And I'm like, no. And they were like, oh, okay. I'm going to watch Mean Girls.
It's like,
Mean Girls is
you're
funny.
sheltered.
It was funny. Yeah, we watched it together.
Oh, that was the first time I've seen it too.
Yeah.
It was with you. Not different time, but
Yeah. Not all of it is aged well, but it is very funny.
I don't think it's aged bad.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's aged bad.
Cameron's watched some shit that's aged poorly in the last.
Well, we
days.
started watching Blazing Saddles, and then we
I got
were like,
one.
let's
I got
not.
one. I got one way worse for you that we watched last night.
No, Blazing Saddles is way worse.
Well,
Yeah,
we
dude, I
didn't.
just
We
remember
didn't get
this
past
movie.
that. We didn't get past that first bit.
And I can tell you Blazing Saddles is way worse already.
Damn. Anyway, where were we? Tron Lands.
Tron Land, because we're talking about Island. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
If your opponent goes Island for your day, just wait a turn. But anyways, Tron Land, if your opponent, they could be doing different things. They could be playing Flickertron. They could be playing the Ultratron. They could be playing Maraudertron. Most of them are going to go Tron Land Expedition Map.
Yeah.
That's what they're most likely going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Very insightful.
Beyond that, that is kind of at that point
kinda-
it is a
yeah.
waiting. That like the variant of Tron that they're playing really is kind of just a waiting game, like figuring out what they're doing.
If they're playing Flickertron, doesn't matter too much because the deck doesn't do anything. So you're gonna be fine. They're gonna sit there and maybe cast a couple spells that didn't really impact the game, and I don't know.
God, I hope you at some point actually play Magic Online and like queue into like Arclint 21, and they just absolutely destroy you.
Maybe, but I'm
That
not
would be
playing Magic
hilarious.
Online.
I know, which is whatever.
I'll have to see them in paper. They can come battle me in Middle Tennessee Gaming if they want some smoke.
Okay. But there's like I say, the different variants of Tron. It's really gonna come down to like what they do on their turn 3. That's kind of the big one because then either they have Tron and they do something with it immediately, like cast. What's a good? There's no. So the problem with all of these, like all of the Tron decks, is that none of them have a 7 that's good. There's no 7 mana colorless thing in this format
like actually really
actually
good.
good.
Right.
Which is wild to me.
That's one of the reasons I really liked what is the Staunch
Throne Guard.
That's why I really liked that a lot, because there was a lot of times where I would be spending like 1 or 2 mana on turn 3 to unlock Tron on turn 3, and then I'd have 5 mana left over, and like, okay, here's a 2/5 with Vigilance and I'm the Monarch. And like this, it blocks a ton of stuff outside of like Terrors or Gurmag Anglers. Like it blocks almost everything.
First Chrysalis, yeah.
Yeah, like
Some
the first
4 or
few
5.
crystal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Avenging Hunter, little iffy, but most everything. It blocks most everything on the ground. So, like having a good 5, and then that's why I liked the red version of Tron too, because it was like you unlock Tron, play a good like 2 into 5 or 2 mana to set up Tron, and then you have 5.
The Cascading
and then the
Sixer's not terrible either.
Right, yeah,
playing that.
those are totally fine too. Yeah, because you could very easily spend
Until
like
you-
1 mana to
until
get there.
Until you cascade into a Rolling Thunder.
Yeah. Oopsies.
Hey, it happened once.
I knew it would.
happened
too.
once.
I called it out before I hated it.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope that this one thing doesn't happen to you, and it did.
It happened once, but it was okay. It was fine. I think I still managed to win that game, but it was funny that it happened.
Anywho,
But then you have a good 8 in that version with the
Maelstrom Colossus.
The Maelstrom Colossus, the 8 mana, 7/7.
It's a. I
Right?
can't remember what the.
It's big. Or it might be an 8/8.
It's
I don't know.
large.
It's big. It's a big 8 mana artifact creature that
Cascades.
that cascades.
Hopefully into a boarding party.
Hopefully into a boarding party, into something else cool, like a staunch, like another staunch throne guard.
That would be great.
I need to order some staunch throne.
How do you know
guards.
if your opponent's playing elves?
They probably go forest and an elf of some variety.
The problem is that you can't necessarily discern at this point whether they're playing walls or not, or like not walls. Sorry, actually, yeah, some of them are. The walls decks are playing
Query Ranger?
Carrion
Ooh,
Ranger,
yeah.
or even like just regular like mana elves. They're more likely to be a spy deck, but
Yeah.
actual factual elves, you probably won't figure it. You probably won't figure it out necessarily unless they just like you never see them use like a Sagu Wildling or like a Lotus Petal or
I've played elves playing Saga Wildling before, too.
Most of them don't.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this is that most. I'm just going with the
Mm-hmm.
overall of what could possibly be.
See, I assumed it was spy because of that, and I was wrong.
Yeah, the idea is just like what's the idea of the most popular thing.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
You actually with me earlier. I don't want to hear it.
What I actually.
Something earlier.
Well, if you can't come up with, then it didn't happen.
Oh, okay. I just
That's
don't
how that
score.
works.
Oh, he wants to gaslight me. Then I'll just be like, oh, well, then that
you
never
did.
happened. That never happened. I don't know what
You
you're
did
talking
earlier.
about.
I said it.
No, I don't think so. It didn't happen. I don't
Could
remember
be.
it.
I'm like, it could be this. And you're like, it could be this niche deck too. And I'm like, okay, sure, it could be this niche deck too. You're right.
What niche deck did I come up with?
I don't know. I think you said Naya Gates. It was kind of funny.
That is not me, and I will not be gaslit into thinking I said that.
It's the best deck in the form.
It is not.
Thomas, wind it back. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, you will in the future. Jaggered Barons, it could also be the burn deck, or it could be the mono black burn deck with Blightning. Hippo fluffs.
Blightning is not a mono black spell, though.
No, it's
just
called mono black burn though, and it plays Blightning.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was just poking fun because Hippo played that deck the other week and hated it.
I lost to it the next week.
I feel like we were
Incredible.
derailed. What? Do we want to talk about challenges? What do we want to do? I know there's at least one thing I want to talk about. If we don't talk about challenges, I do want to point out a cool trend that happened in the challenges.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So on the Friday challenge,
Hang on. Unless we have anything else we want to discuss on the main topic.
I still have further things.
Oh, hit us! I'm so sorry.
So we have like the common sets of the typed dual lands.
Yes.
So you could, if your opponent goes turn 1 blue-red land, they're likely, and usually it's the snow land, they're going to be on the blue-red spread deck. Or if they're playing black-green, it's the black-green land. It's either it's likely just
Ephemerate too with the blue-red one.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think more often now it's going to be that because it's just got a cleaner mana base more often than not.
But blue-red tapland essentially
Is going to be a control deck.
Be prepared for a control
Yeah,
deck.
so it can be a long game.
Blue-white in a similar sense, but blue-white could also mean Coggates,
It could mean
familiars potentially.
They'll play the gate, the blue. Sometimes they'll play the one type land of that.
Yeah, that's like the one idea, like beachfront.
Banter
Yeah.
too, because they play it off
Yeah.
to get the Lorien.
Yep.
Revealed cycling to
Yep.
fix their mana.
Oh yeah,
So Banter
The
plays that
infamous
deck too.
Banter.
it will.
I just want to talk about Banter. Like it's just a real thing, and we just like mention it casually every now and then. Like we're in a deep dive,
What do you
and we're
mean?
like,
It's not a real thing.
no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, if
okay,
it's
that's
blue
weird
white,
that
it
you
could
would
be
say it like
Banter.
that.
Because if it's already a real thing, then why are we?
Yeah, then why are you saying it like you wish it was a real thing? It's a real thing.
Thams
Yeah.
plays as well, especially the version playing the High Tide too has the type dual land on there.
Mm-hmm.
Black green, usually it's going to be gardens. Usually, there is the chance that Spy doesn't want to play a turn 1 tap land. They just want to play untapped lands.
Spy mostly is just playing basics.
Yeah, they
for
just
the
want to
most
play
part.
like a bunch of basic or forests and then maybe a basic swamps.
Dredge.
Yeah,
too.
the black green dredge
dredge
deck might play the black green or potentially green red as well, which you might see green red off of Ponza or the red green ramp list, but it's far more likely when we talked about untapped forest that you'll see untapped forest into Arbor Elf or Utopia Sprawl Wild Growth.
I would agree. Unless they kept a bad hand.
True. Blue green is if you see blue green, which I think will be rare. Yeah, Bant Terror or like blue green fog potentially.
It's blue green fog.
Well, if they play the blue green tap land first, they probably like want to next turn play Island and set up for like Malevolent Rumble and like try to mill over some sorceries and pick up a terror or something.
Yeah.
So that would make the most sense.
You're in my head. Blue black we mentioned.
Yeah, we mentioned
The contaminated aquifer or the ice tunnel, likely any number of the blue black control variants. So be prepared.
Yeah. It's usually if it's one of the white lands, it's probably or
I don't know if I've ever seen a list register the white red typed duel.
I don't think I have either.
Outside of maybe because like
some
Jeskai
point.
Ephemerate wants their type duels to be blue so you can get them with Lorien revealed.
Synth, but I don't know why they wouldn't just play the Windscarred Heath or the Gain Life one.
Windscar Crag or Abraded Bluffs, depending on how aggressive you want to be.
Or even a bridge if you want to do that sort of stuff, like we said. Yeah, so I don't think we see the red white.
No,
type
I don't think
duel.
so. No.
And the green white too, kind of like we talked about. I think with a couple weeks ago, how green white tap duels don't like get a ton of love because there isn't really a lot of stuff to do with them that keeps up with the rest of the format. So
Just boggles.
Yeah.
Do they even play the?
No,
I don't think
because
so.
they play all the mana fixer enchantments like Utopia
Abundant-
Sprawl and
Abundant
Abundant Growth.
Growth.
There's just no reason.
Yeah, they just
Generous
play
End, maybe if you want.
basics and Ash Barons.
Yeah,
It looks like.
If your opponent went Ash Barons, they're having a hard time.
Yeah,
If your opponent went turn 1 Ash Barons, they're having a really hard time.
that's what this boggles player's doing. Works for them.
I hope not. I hope they're not playing it on turn 1.
Oh well, yeah. Excuse me. I'm
That's
Yeah,
sorry.
it's like
that's
that's,
what we're saying.
that's what I'm saying. It's like if they're playing a tap turn 1 Ash Barons, they're having a bad time.
If your opponent goes turn 1 Ash Barons and then like play something off it, like a relic or something, I'm trying to remember the context of this happens. Cyclone Ash Barons, or they do something weird.
I guess that would be Cycling Storm.
FAMs. I've done it in FAMs because I picked up the Ash
Ash Barons
before
later
with the tap land.
The bounce land.
Because I think I went turn 1 Ash Barons, Cyclo Ash Barons, and
as a
turn
race
2
Chancery?
just played Chancery and bounced the Ash
Oh.
Barons.
Okay, that's tricksy.
Yeah, and it looks like Boggles. Most
Yeah.
Boggles lists are playing.
But I will say Cycling Storm, also off Swamp. Untapped Swamp is also potentially Cycling Storm. We missed that one earlier.
We did,
That is fair.
Yeah.
but yeah.
Also, it could mean turn 1 Swamp could also technically mean Tron. You want to go down that rabbit hole?
And I was being niche.
Untapped Mountain could technically mean Tron. I mean,
Everything could mean Tron. Untapped.
it's
Anything
all
but a white
Tron.
land. Anything but a untapped plains.
What,
Your opponent goes
uh,
plains past, you can safely say they're not on Tron.
I can also safely say they're not on Tron with a likely. Well, no, that's not true. Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's finish off the rest of the duels. Red Black. Again, does
Most of
the actual Red Black type duel?
I think the only time you're basically gonna see the type duels is if they're fetchable, and it's just like blue black, black green, and white blue. Those are realistically the ones you're gonna see.
I know old spy decks used to play the red, black, and the sideboard, or was it for bringing in like the ancient grudge? Or no, I'm thinking of the
The
Dredge.
dredge,
Yeah.
and they just play them in the main
Yeah, okay.
black red, the black red type plane. Yeah, it's like that's them. I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's the only one. Yeah.
because otherwise they're just playing black green.
Yeah.
red. Sorry, not red white. Black green, blue white. And what was the last
Blue
one?
black.
And blue black.
Yeah,
Those
those
are
are-
realistically
those are the most likely
Those are the
ones
most
for
likely
sure.
options of blue
Yeah.
of the tap line.
The rest of them-
dual lands.
Yeah. I'll finish it out with black white though. If you do see black white tap land, it's probably something like Blade.
Yeah.
Like black white Blade.
Yeah, and there's been some Esper variants in the 5-0 dumps too, which is kind of cool. So
Oh.
yeah,
I've seen an
Ooh.
Esper Gates with like the black white deck basically. It's pretty sweet. Won a big event this weekend.
heck yeah. Shall we?
Yeah.
Dude,
Moving on.
Did we want to talk about the whole challenges, or should you
Let's
just want
just
me
do
to?
some highlights.
So Friday challenge, Seasoned of Mist won with Jun Wildfires, but they were playing that 3 Karkland Shamans, which was cool. Good to see it going that way again. A lot of creature decks running around. But 4 copies of Gixian Infiltrator from the mono black sack deck.
Ooh.
So Jun Wildfire's adopting this. So it's 1 and a black for a 2/1 creature Phyrexian human. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on this card creature. So that, I mean, your deck is turning through cardboard. Like you have your Blood Fountains, you have your Needle Spell Bombs, your tokens from Writhing Chrysalis, Karkland Shaman sacking artifacts, your sacking artifacts with your Fanatical Offering, your Fanatical Offerings making maps that sack themselves. So his deck just, Makeshift Munitions just sacrifices a lot of stuff, like kind of on the side. So
Yeah. It gets big very quickly.
and then the Saturday challenge, a lot of people just adopted this list, and a lot of people were playing, like trying 3 of them, or some people playing a full playset too. So that kind of became the popular trend of the weekend, which is cool. So I'm excited to see if this sticks. Like, who knows? Maybe next week it'll just be completely gone. But it's cool when people are testing out the technologies and just playing around and new stuff like this, because that's what keeps Magic the Gathering fun, I think. So when you're out there, and there was quite a few random larger events going on.
Yeah, as I said, there was one event. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was one by the kind of Esper Gates Blade deck. Really cool looking. You sign me up. There's a core Sky Fisher involved.
Man. And just over the weekend, too, a lot of mono blue terror over the weekend of challenges, too. So that deck's kind of rising up in popularity.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Again.
it's very much been terror and red
Maybe-
of various
Maybe
varieties.
it's not a
mostly
bad time
Madness Burn.
to bring out your Orzhov Blade decks then. That deck can struggle against the Rakdos, but I think
and
you can,
Writhing Chrysalis. Because I think it's terror right now. We're looking like terror and Mono Red Madness is like the top. Just underneath that is like Jund-ish, and like Fae is kind of in there too.
I think
right
Fae.
now.
There was a lot of Fae this weekend too.
And then like Mono Red Rally kind of hangs out around there, and then you have like a true like second tier of that's like really wide. Like I feel like we have a really wide second tier, and like 2 to 3 top decks with 2 to 3 others kind of like slightly overlapping or in between, and then like a tier 2 of a ton of stuff. Like I found the Esper deck that you mentioned, James. It took first place of a 92 player event in France.
That's where it was.
Yeah, this thing is sick. The blue card is just Cryogen Relic. That's awesome.
Man, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
With a Gates package, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
For
actually pretty
help with
good with the
splash
Gates.
and-
Actually, it's pretty good with the Gates package because if you can just let that sit on the table, and then like the turn you want to like gate up a thing, and then you can just basically essentially make one of your flyers unblockable.
Yeah.
Like even if they had like one flyer per se or a Chrysalis per se, and you're just like, oh, make this basically unblockable as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying that. Just take your favorite deck and jam the Gates
Gates
package.
package.
In. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
It's very good.
Burrow Synth, play Gates. Dredge, play Gates.
I will say there is a cheeky one of Guardian of the Guild packed in here.
Card's good.
That's
That
like
makes
a
sense.
lot
I
of
think,
Gates.
Yeah.
Decks are playing the one of.
And I kind of
A couple Grim Baubles.
Good with the
One of
package.
Raven's Crime in the main.
I
funny.
may or may not
That's-
have purchased Raven's Crimes today because of this.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
that is cool.
I wonder where they got that technology from. Was it from Zach?
Yeah, Mr. Garrett's. It could have been. It could have been. Shrivel on the sideboard.
Common
All
Ground
creatures
Cup
have nice one. Huh. No, I was sorry. I was just looking at this list too because I just saw it. No,
It's
that's
really cool.
Yeah, and I like throwing Gates. Maybe I'll play this Thursday if I find the energy to sleeve up some cards.
Oh, there's another black-white. There's a black-white blade deck in top 8 of another one of these big ones.
coming
112
back,
player
it's coming
top
back.
8.
Dude,
Tell Austin.
Dude, Blade is sick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It makes like maybe it doesn't line up super well against the Chrysalises, but if you're saving your interaction for said Crystali, like your cast downs, your Thraben Charms from those, and
Or well-timed suffocating fumes into a blade is pretty good.
yeah, that
Yeah.
can happen
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So if you're being tricky about that, maybe if it's that bad, play a Nihil Spell Bomb or 2 in the main board. So because the hardest part is when you play against, if you're on the blade side and you're playing against these Writhing Chrysalis decks, it's like you work so hard to maybe clear the creatures around the Chrysalis, and you can finally blade them or something, get rid of them, and they just crack their freaking blood fountain. They pick them back up again. You're like, no. But the Gates is, what's cool is you can push through damage. Maybe they're forced to block, or now that you're trading, or they have to chump with their Chrysalises against your Glinthawks once they're Basilisk gated up. So cool. I like Basilisk Gate. Who doesn't?
I don't. I think Basilisk is terrible. No, that's not true.
No, shit.
I was like, I remember playing Basilisk Gate in the Fog deck before that was like a commonly accepted thing to be doing.
Yeah.
I looked at the list. I was like, why does this not play this? It's free.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just like make your plant token an actual thread.
Make your Crypt Rats
Huge
gigantic, and then
Sweep.
sweep the table and then attack them for a bajillion. That seems pretty good.
Okay. I'm looking at this, was it a Come On Catawise Team Trios thing? And I was just looking at the list there, and people are naming their decks like Jun Broodskill combo, and it's Jun Wildfires, Mono Blue Cycling Storm, and it's Fae. You're not funny. Cut it out.
Yeah, it does make data difficult when people do that.
Anybody?
I want to call up Besa de Gea with first place list. They may have split finals, I'm not sure, but first and second were both 8-1 records with Mono Blue Terror on the Sunday challenge on Magic Online. But Besa de Gea Took first place with Terror, rocking a third copy of Sleep of the Dead in the main. We've been kind of chatting about this a little bit on Discord, and I'm a big fan. So definitely give that a try. And over annuls a full set of Steel Sabotage in the board as well.
Being able to balance a turn 1 tap land is just so brutal.
It is pretty good. It gives you that boomerang effect.
The number of like enchantments has kind of waned.
Yeah,
That are relevant for annul necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it may be just the time for
swapping back
Steel Sabotage
or a split at the very least.
Yeah, it's like unless you're just like really expecting to play against Boggles, basically. It's
but Team Trios, the Fairies player was no other than Skura. So Skura, if you named your deck
nice
Mono Blue Cycling Storm, knock it off.
for shame.
I was just looking there because
top aided the individual one and then won the trios event the next day.
Yeah, that sounds like a Skura run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he won we made top 8 of the Super IPT in Poland too. That's cool. So
nice.
Congrats to Skura. If you he has plenty of Fae content if you ever need.
It's true.
We have a podcast episode with him, and the deck's changed a little bit post. He's getting some new cards too, so you could check their list out and their YouTube channel.
Changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like Sleep of the Dead in this. Oh wait, JK, wait. This Mono Blue Cycling Storm deck is Terror, so this is a different tournament. So Skura did not name their deck. It was a
okay.
It was a Delver player that named their deck that. Apologies, Skura.
Okay. We'll just roll all that back.
I have no more thoughts.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No, good topic idea. Idea.
Thank you, Spencer.
I think it's important to think about that stuff because as you get into more competitive play and if you want to take things a little bit more seriously, maybe play in some cash tournaments or things like that, it's really important from the get-go that you're paying close attention to these little things because all of these small edges in a game like Magic where there is so much randomness to it and there's also so much skill, you have to be able to navigate that, and the number of different things that your opponent could do is massive as you get further on down the game. So it's important to make sure that you take advantage of the information that they're giving you.
Yeah, like I've lost games with Fog. It was shout out to Ian from Team Hot Dogs. They put me on Fog, and they just held up. I think like Spell Pierce, or this was game 2 because they had a Knowles, so they brought Knowles and held up like Spell Pierces, and they like countered my Limbus and Ichor Wellspring, and I didn't have anything to sack with my
your draw twos
for my draw twos. It was like super, super awkward. I'm like, oh shit, you know. Yeah. So them putting me like knowing what I was on, but you could also do that in pregame too. But just letting the plan start to formulate, because I'm sure they went into that with the plan of I'm going to counter the artifacts and try to strand those draw twos in their hand. So
it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, if you can do that, if you can ping what your opponent's doing and trying to do that, if you ping there on like the rally deck or something, you're like, okay, maybe I'm gonna, is it Scred and you're playing Breath Weapons main, maybe I'm gonna hold off on these Screds and Lightning Bolts and I'm gonna set up for a Breath Weapon. Just stuff like that. So
for sure. Pauper's so cool.
It is cool.
Pauper.
I've been have my brewing mind going crazy. Also in Pokemon. I've been doing a bit of Pokemon battling.
Do you ever get a Thursday off? Come battle at a.
I was going to, but now I'm working Thursday, so my day off changed to Friday. I was going to tell you guys after record, but my day off changed to Friday, so Han and I are going to do date night Thursday night now.
Oh, that'll be nice.
So, yeah, it will be nice. We haven't had a proper date night out in a while. We're like doing some catch up on like birthday anniversary type stuff. So
cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be really nice. But I hope y'all have fun. I hope y'all have fun. Playing,
was that the audience or was that Hippo and I?
Both.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Go play some Pauper. Go play your locals.
Yeah, this place is sick. They're extending now because for those who may not have joined and want to join now, the league across from the Middle Tennessee Gaming is now being extended to a 2-month period. Mm-hmm. So come in, gather your points, come be successful, and win some product.
come play against Hippo 9.
Yeah.
And Blue-Haired Mage. They make cool TikToks.
Yeah,
so
they do.
shout out to them. I like their TikToks. They're pretty funny.
Yep. I got to play against Tyler last week. That was fun.
They were at Indy, right? Were they, or did I make that up in my head?
I don't.
Or was it the turn? I thought I saw them briefly somewhere once, but I don't think I got a chance to
quite
say
remember.
hi.
I don't quite remember.
I don't either.
Anyways,
brain doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, there's a bunch of names that we name frequently. So at the Middle Tennessee Gaming Pauper League,
There's a bunch of names that we name frequently.
You know.
there's a bunch of those
Like
folks.
you do.
A bunch of those folks
All-timer?
are there.
Yeah,
so-
this one's an all-timer.
Just fucking
This
sentences.
is a real if you made it this far type of episode, I think.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you got any likes, comments, thoughts, episode ideas, you want to make your case on, I'm not going to say that. You can send those to commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com. That's in the description. Or you can join our Discord. You can come say hi in our Discord.
Lots of fun stuff going on in there.
We can hang out in there. You can see pictures of Croissant. I'll post a picture of Croissant in there right now as I'm finishing out this outro. So if you...
When you see this in 3 days.
Yeah,
You'll know. When you
you'll-
hear this in 3 days, you'll know.
I'll post that
Yeah.
right in the... I'll post I know you're real if you know. It'll be a picture of Croissant.
If you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
For the time travelers in our Discord channel.
In the pets channel.
Yeah, we have Cube Discord in our Pauper Discord channel.
Yeah, there's a little cube section.
And if you want to join and talk about Pauper, I guess you could do that too.
Oh, I guess when you shout out, if you're going to CubeCon next month, y'all are going to be there. And
I will.
Our friend of the pod, Anna, is going to have one of her cubes featured in the main event, the Boomer Cube that we've talked about many times.
And that's going to be an episode.
And that's going to be an episode. We're going to have Anna on in a few weeks to chat about the Boomer Cube, do a little CubeCon prep.
I put for the time travelers on that post in Discord.
For the time travelers. Wonderful.
But that's not a current picture of Croissant.
It was from an hour ago, 2 hours ago. That's
So
pretty
it's
current.
really it's two time traveling moments.
I mean, aren't cameras like
It's
time
more
travel?
than an hour ago. I have 77 minutes on the thing here.
We've been talking for an hour.
Yeah, dude.
That can't be true.
Over
And it's
certainly
crazy.
can.
There's 30 minutes. It's gonna be a 30-minute episode out of all that.
It's getting dark outside. No,
It
no, there'll be plenty of episode. More stays in than you think.
Oh, I know.
I know you know.
I learned last week.
What did you say?
Well, it wasn't what I said. It's what you said.
You said.
I wanted that to stay in.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
What was it?
Tickling balls.
Oh, that's it tickles
that
my balls.
tickles your balls.
That's completely acceptable to say.
Is there anything else? Shout out the Discord. Shout out the email. Go play Pauper.
Oh, and I guess in a couple weeks we also have Team Trios coming up. So if you want to
yeah.
come play Pauper in the middle Tennessee area against likely me and Cameron.
Parents will be in town that weekend.
Oh well, then I guess you will play against me.
Mm-hmm.
I will be battling the Pauper seat. It's got to be the most powerful team in the room.
Y'all are gonna 0-3 drops.
I refuse to believe that this is not the most powerful team in the room. I refuse.
Oh, I'm excited.
Calling it now. Me, Devin Northcutt, Drew Carlson. What a banger of a team.
Oh boy.
It's just gonna be you guys arguing as the clock ticks on. or making really stupid Tool songs. Shout out to Andy when we were Stone Soup drafting. Freaking Drew was playing Numa on guitar,
So was Devin.
and so was Devin. And Hippo picks up and starts playing Numa again. And
Somebody else
Andy-
did too. Didn't Carson?
I don't know.
I think
And
Carson
Andy,
did
as
too.
soon as Hippo picks up and plays it, Andy's just like, Jesus Christ, can you play any other Tool song than this?
And the answer is yes, I
It
can.
was funny.
But that's the most fun one.
Nah, he cracked me up when he did that.
Yeah.
I'm glad he came. I think he had a fun time.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Team Trios is October 4th,
Correct.
I believe, at Game Night in Columbia, Tennessee. Our friends down at Game Night. So you can go check out down there. It'll be Legacy, Standard, and Pauper.
Oh, Drew. Yeah, I think that's it. Call your parents if you have good relations with them,
Mm-hmm.
or if you want to mend those relations.
Cool. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Goodbye.
We hope you'll listen again.
I'm taking therapy. Inquires not that I need therapy, but I do.
I was like,
We
over
all we all
I mean,
need therapy.
the people in this
Cameron.
room, you might need it more than the
We
other two.
If you want me to be your therapist,
You
email me
This is a
at,
post
at Cameron. I'm kidding. But